Hey everybody, so today I want to talk about some teams that are very, very good on home ice. Some of them are good everywhere, but they're all particularly good on home ice and have great home records this season. Before we get into the video, I just quickly want to remind everyone to please hit that thumbs up button and give the video a like. It greatly helps out the channel and is much appreciated. And if you're new and happen to be watching, please hit that subscribe button and follow along for all my hockey content this season. So let's get into it here. There's a number of teams to go through. Obviously, there's more teams that are good at home than good on the road. So we got a number of teams to look at here. Starting with the Boston Bruins, who have yet to lose in regulation on home ice this season. They are 12-0-5 at TD Garden this year, and that's just... Listen, Boston's good everywhere. They're a good road team too. They're one of the best teams in the league. But to be 12-0-5, to get points out of every single game on home ice so far this season is just insane. Obviously, they're going to lose at some point, but they've had so many games where they've had to come from behind and win, or at least come from behind and get a point out of it. The other night against Chicago, they were down 3-0 in the third period, tied it 3-3, and ended up losing in overtime. But just to get a point out of that game is ridiculous, and Boston's been finding ways to do that. 17 home games this year, and they've gotten points in every single one of them. That's just ridiculous, and they've been unbeatable on home ice. It's really been incredible to see. Another great home team is the New York Islanders. Now, the Islanders are another team that's good everywhere, but they're not as good on the road as they are at home. 7-4-1 road record, 12-2-1 on home ice this year for the Islanders. Remember, it's not the same building for the Islanders. They play some games at Barclays Center, some games at Nassau Coliseum. So, it doesn't matter, though, when they're in their home jerseys. When they're the home team, they are winning games this season. Incredibly good record for the Islanders in New York. Buffalo, another interesting team because Buffalo is bad on the road but good at home. Buffalo's home record is 8-3-3 this year. Their road record is 5-8-2. So the only reason Buffalo is still, even in it in the Eastern Conference is because of their play on home ice and their home record. They've been very, very good in Buffalo this season, not very good away from Buffalo. So, this record's really important for them because it's really why they're still in the race in the Eastern Conference and in a playoff spot. Also Toronto and Tampa Bay being disappointments this season is also helping the Sabres. But, Buffalo is 13-11-5 on the season. Without this home record being this good, they would be an under 500 team for sure. So the home games are really helping the Sabres out. Moving on, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is 11-3-2 on home ice this season, and they are in a playoff spot right now by 3 points, and it's largely due to their home play because on the road they're only 4-6-2. So Pittsburgh's another team that is being propped up right now by how well they play on home ice, and they're 15-9-4 on the season with 34 points. They would not be in a playoff spot right now if they weren't this good on home ice, but they play great at home and they defend their home rink well, and that's a tough place to go in and win, and not many teams have been able to do that this year. Also, Philadelphia. Philly has had a very, very good season this year compared to what they looked like last year. And they're great at home on home ice. 9-2-4 home record versus a 7-6-1 road record. So their road record's not bad. They're above 500, but they're particularly good at home. And that's, a big reason why they're in third place in the Metro right now and comfortably holding a playoff spot. That their play in Philadelphia has really helped out a lot with that. And that, Philly is not an easy place to go in and play. And the Flyers are making sure that that's the case this year. Moving on now to the Western Conference, we have the Dallas Stars. Dallas has been such an interesting team this year. they had the really, really bad start. Then they ripped off a long win streak. Then they kind of stunk again for the last few games. And now they picked up another win over Winnipeg last night. And it seemed to, that's a good sign for them. Their road record this year, 6-7-2, so not very good. But their home record, 10-4-1 on home ice for Dallas this year. They're in a playoff spot largely because they've been able to win at home. And they're defending their home turf very, very well. Another team, Minnesota. Where the hell has Minnesota come from? They were the worst team in the Western Conference at one point this year. They've now ripped off 5 wins in a row. They've pulled into a playoff spot, and it's largely because they do not lose at home. They're 7-1-2 on the season on home ice through 10 home games this year. Now, they've played a lot more games on the road, and they're only 7-10-2 on the road. But at home in Minnesota, they've actually been very, very good this year. And they're 14-11-4 now. These 5 straight wins have pushed them into playoff position with 32 points. And coming out of nowhere, being a last-place team to now, passing Chicago, passing Nashville, passing San Jose, passing Calgary, passing Vancouver, and now they're in a playoff spot. So Minnesota has really shocked me with this move up the standings. I don't know if it will last. I kind of don't think so. Looking at some of the teams that are behind them that I think will end up passing them, certainly Vancouver, San Jose, Nashville, and Calgary have a chance as well. So I don't necessarily think this keeps up for Vancouver, but so far they've been very, very impressive on home ice. And the final team, another team that's been kind of disappointing this season, but it hasn't been because of their home play, is the Calgary Flames. Calgary currently out of a playoff spot right now with a 14-12-4 record, but they are 8-3-2 on home ice. They've been good at home. It's on the road that is killing the Calgary Flames, where they're only 6-9-2 on the season. But the Flames are going to be an interesting team to watch to see if they can pull themselves into a playoff spot or if they miss the postseason this year. It's not looking good right now, but they are in with a gaggle of other teams at 32 points. Minnesota, Vancouver, San Jose, and Calgary all are at 32 points right now, which is good for the last spot in the playoffs. Minnesota currently holding the last wild card spot based on games played and wins in regulation, all the tiebreakers, stuff like that. But Calgary's been good at home. They've been good on home ice. It's just they can't win on the road, or they're struggling on the road, and that's really hurt them this season. But those are, 8 teams that are really, really good on home ice this year, and it's not easy to go into any of these teams' buildings and get the win. So with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon and merchandise store are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.